Okay, looks like we are on YouTube now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunar Rhythms with Christine Skinner. Once a month, Christine and I will be here to share our astral life and our trip and our observation of the world wild. And well, no need to say, we are in a very, very busy time. Not only human being, but I think the sun is also getting quite busy. The solar activities that went off the top. And if you don't tell me, like a Christine never study, solar activity before, but she just always mentioned about something like weird things about the sunspot and what will affect the communication. And what we
Well,
have this
it,
time?
this is extraordinary because I mean, again, it's just something we don't normally deal with. We think about the lunar cycle, your
Exactly.
28-day type cycle,
Sure.
but the sun rotates. Its tummy rotates about every 27 days. So every 27 days, it shows the same face towards us.
Yes.
And we never know what's going on the other side of it. But what was happening earlier this week was that a huge sunspot, even bigger than the one that was in May of last year, was turning round to face us again. Now, with the sunspot, you can also have increased solar flares or coronal mass ejections, so you can get extraordinary disturbance. So even before its face was fully round towards us, we had that problem last Friday, right? Which is when
Yes.
those planes were grounded. Now, the interesting thing about that is that the reason the planes were grounded, the Airbus systems, they'd actually had a problem at the end of October, and there was a delay before they actually grounded.
Yeah. I remember you mentioned it. I remember
What
you
had
mentioned it.
happened was it was a flight, I think, from Mexico into certainly anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember you mentioned that,
Oh, there we
solar
go.
cycle,
Sorry, the
solar
internet
cycle
went
thing.
for us.
I know. We play solar activity. Don't worry.
Yeah. So well, it is the solar activity, and the thing is that the sun's behavior at the moment is really confusing because we were supposed to have had the highest number, but actually we had a real high in August of 2024. So it could be that this sunspot cycle is going to be a short one because it could be as short as 9 years. And that matters because of the financial stuff. The stock markets tend to go up because everybody gets very excited, right?
Yep.
And when the sunspots go down, the numbers go down. So we're looking for the numbers to go down. We were looking for them to be down about 2030, 31, but it could be 2029 despite the fact that we've just had this huge sunspot.
Mm,
It's just that what we've got is we've got aberrant behavior.
mm.
That's the thing. And that's obviously affecting life in it, it's affecting you, me, the cats, everything. We're dependent on the sun. It affects our cell systems, our hormone systems,
Hmm.
everything. So yes, so I'm busy working on the book, which I'm doing in collaboration with Ona Dosa, right?
Yeah.
And we're extending the book now, right? So to cover because we now know more. There's more information coming in every day. It's really
Yes.
amazing. But I would actually suggest to anyone that if they've felt very vulnerable this week, and they've been putting that down to the fact that it was quite a naughty full moon yesterday because the the sun moon were exactly square the lunar axis, if you remember, right? So it was
Yes.
quite an
Yes.
emotional one anyway. But I think
Mm.
over on top of that, we had this big splurge of solar activity,
Hmm.
which may or may not have been responsible for the fact that Turnhouse Airport in Edinburgh was brought to a halt this morning. Anyway, you tipped me off about that, so I went running off to find out if I could get the chart for the airport.
Ooh,
Now you're
have
going to
you?
love this. I did it. I did it. I did it. Right. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Show us.
So it's the 19th of May, 1947.
Okay.
So that immediately tells you that the sun must have been towards the end of Taurus. So
Taurus, yes.
is there any planet hanging about at the end of Taurus at the moment?
Oh,
Oh,
let me think.
just
Something
have a
cold.
could be.
Yeah.
1947, we're also in kind of Saturn Pluto land. Anyway, as it happens, when the airport was opened, it had existed prior to that as a sort of RAF base or something, but it took commercial flights from May of 1947. So that would be its birth chart. But it was launched, bad word, but anyway, it started with the Sun conjunct Vesta, my favorite little
Oh,
trader one. And
yeah.
both of them at 27 degrees 30 minutes of Taurus. So there
Yeah.
we've got a Uranus effect there. We
Yeah.
also, it's really interesting that Sedna, right, with the full moon chart for
Yes.
Edinburgh, Sedna was exactly on the midheaven. And
Yes.
I'm getting to grips with Sedna. I can't remember if we spoke about the statue I saw. Did did we have
Yeah, last time you're talking
that?
about that when you were in Canada, and
That's right.
yes,
Yeah.
beautiful
So,
story.
so I've started to put, I really honestly I didn't want to put anything else into these charts, Rod. They're like we're full up, like full up, right? Okay, that's enough already, right? But I think we can't ignore Sedna, right? And we certainly can't now because the other thing I was looking at was that Uranus Sedna conjunction we've got
Y-
now.
Yes.
That's the first in Gemini for 11,500 years.
Ooh.
Now, if you ask Google what happened 11,500 years ago,
Uh-huh.
it will tell you that over the space of a decade, now it may not match entirely with Uranus and
Sure.
right, but the story is right in that it says there was global warming of about 10 degrees centigrade, and
Uh-huh.
Greenland was green, right? It was the end of the little ice age. Right. So
Look like now.
it exactly looks like now. So it really kind of makes you, well, I just thought it's pause for thought, isn't it? Just
Yes.
pause for thought.
Yeah, indeed. Yes. Yeah, this like a huge cycle. It's incredible. It's incredible. And coordinate with that you mentioned about the little ice age, that was like fascinating, to be honest. And so we have all these things happen, and the things will keep changing. Last week in Hong Kong, you probably heard the news. Our
Yeah,
dear friend in Hong Kong. They were devastated. This is a huge, and also make us, if we are in UK, we remember that Grenfell Tower. Remember, yeah, a
Brentford,
couple
yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
that 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 similar things so many, but that
Well,
oh
you know, with
yeah,
well, with my monthly class, of the
yes,
many things I have to look at is I've got to keep on top of the Hang Seng index, the Hong Kong index. So
sure,
obviously
yes,
I'm always looking at the chart for Hong Kong as well. So
yes,
but my fear had been that there was going to be a big event, which I actually wondered if there was going to be some undersea activity that led to large scale floods because Hong Kong is, it's surrounded
yeah,
by, a bit like New York, it's
sure, yes,
surrounded by water. So my fear was that there was going to be a big event, right? But I knew there was going to be a big event, but I didn't think it was going to scupper their stock market. But I thought that it was a really newsworthy thing. Not in a month of
yeah,
summers did I think it was going to be a fire. It's always easy. That this is the problem with astrology is that it's very easy to look back and see all the right things for a fire. But
yeah.
looking forward, it's not so easy. Yeah.
Well, but maybe because the language barrier. If I tell you, yes, the water is a big news in Hong Kong this year, but it's in daily life water. So I think if I remember correctly, whole year round, even now, they were discussion about the water source from their public, for example, government organization. They because in Hong Kong you need to you need to buy water for the drink, and the government buy the water brand
Yeah.
from China. They cause some discussion. People are not happy with their water source.
Wow.
So let me say you are right. There is the things boiling underneath is talking about how could government buy the water from somewhere in China rather than support Hong Kong's brand. But that is a little bit
Well, I
Interesting.
mean, water is very much in the news because one of the news stories this morning was talking about Tehran, which apparently,
Uh-huh.
they've got a severe drought there. And they said
Yeah.
that Tehran might not be the capital of Iran any longer because they might have to evacuate people because they
Oh,
simply
yes.
don't have enough water. Mm.
Yeah, heard
Well,
about that. Yes.
when I did the original book for the Financial Universe, which is now 20 years ago, right? I had a
I still
whole
have that copy.
yeah, well, I had a whole chapter there about water wars because I thought that was what was going to happen next. My timing was off, but the theory was right.
Mm,
You know.
yeah.
And I'm going to do some of this, for my talk for your thing on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk very briefly about the fact that Greater London and Lincolnshire, right? These are
Mm-hmm.
areas that also might suffer from climate disaster in the next
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 years. Well, we're all
Mm.
preoccupied at the moment thinking, are we going to have a war? Are we going to do this? But actually, we've also got some natural disasters that we really need to think about now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I still remember that book, and you talk about the water things. I was like, wow, that opened my mind to focus on because from the financial astrology and to thinking about all the resource and the climate change, that really opened my view of a mundane astrology. Thank you so much for that book.
Oh,
So,
well, thank you. I mean, that particular book was a nightmare. The next one was much, much better. Yes. And the most recent one, the navigating one, that was really good. But this one, well, there are two on the go now. There's the one with owner, there's the one that's for me.
yeah, yeah,
And that one is sort of writing itself, right?
yeah.
But can I just tell you about my chart just for a minute? Um,
Please.
the full moon yesterday was
Yeah.
actually exactly on my moon. My moon is 12 of Sag. So, and this week, which is just incredible because I have been waiting for this for, well, I don't know, maybe 6 years or so. And then suddenly it became possible. And it's all
Yeah.
happened really very fast. And the electrician is coming shortly to put the lights in. But yeah, and I just thought it was just exquisite. Yeah, brilliant, isn't
So
it?
apart from
Brilliant.
two books, I just heard about you have a moon in Sag.
Yeah.
And who traveling like that? I wish I have a moon in Sag too now.
Well, yes, but you have to remember, that for what was it, 4.5 years? Well, yeah, 4.5 years. I couldn't even walk to the local shops because Michael was so ill and couldn't be left. So no, I'm certainly making up for lost time. There are 14 trips planned for next year. Right? Um, two of
Do you need
them.
an assistant to
Well, no,
handle your
I mean,
luggage?
actually, the hardest one is this guy. I told you, this guy from Taiwan that's asked me to go and teach there. That's the problematic one.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We will handle it. We will handle it.
You'll handle it. I'll leave that one with you.
So
But
tell us your next year's trip, starting from where?
Florida, January, London, February, Istanbul, March, and a bit of April, Paris in April. And then I'm going to speak at Ray Merriman's Slovenian conference, the investment one in May. Back to Canada for June and July. France is August. Chicago is September, followed by Philadelphia, and that's got all the question marks with it because that's got various bits in it. Then back here for a little bit, and then as I said, there's the Taiwan thing. And the really funny thing in amongst all of this is that Monica Escalante sent me a message saying, would I like to do Mexico on my way to Chicago? And I was trying to work out what planet we were on that took me from London to, like, how do you route from, so shall I just buy a round the world ticket?
Why not?
So anyway, my Sag moon is very happy. It's very happy. But
I,
we
I would
are,
suggest you. I would suggest you just like I will do your, the house sitting for a year.
yeah, well, well, Zeus would like that very much. Although, yes, we won't talk about Zeus the cat. I had something else I was going to talk to you about. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
want to raise it because before we speak again,
yeah.
we'll actually have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction heliocentrically
Oh yes, yes.
on
This
the
happened
11th.
recently, right?
No, it's the 11th of December, Ron.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, the big one that everyone's talking about is February of next year, but actually
Exactly.
it's coming on the world axis 11th of December.
When you say actually, I think need a little bit explanation. People say she went mad. Why she say actually, but it's happening in February next year? Why she say actually happen in December?
Right. Well, because if I was standing on the sun, they would look
Yes.
like they were, so heliocentrically, I mean,
Hmm.
obviously they're not in the line, but anyway,
Yeah.
they're on the world axis. That's the 11th of December, which if you look at the ephemeris, it's really interesting because just at that time, we end up with the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars for a few days. They're all of them in mutable signs, and
Ooh.
and at the same time, the moon is in a mutable sign in Virgo. It's on its last quarter moon,
Uh-huh.
and and Grace Morris wrote about this really well because she pointed out that when you get this concentration in the mutables, and let's not forget Saturn and Neptune, right? Add them in
Yeah.
as well, right? If you put them all in, markets tend to go down. Right? So
Ah.
there's a little bit of a dip in there, and that's
Hmm.
followed by Mars crossing the world axis, zero
Uh,
Capricorn. Right? So I think December is going to, I mean, maybe we need to do an extra lunar rhythms because I'm thinking it's going to be I think it's going to be quite a month, really quite.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. I'm really looking forward that this December and the next January because it looks like a lot of the things is doing that. But like because end of November we have like second half part of November the stock market and financial market is like a one day. It's like a UK's weather. One day is staying and another day
yeah,
is warm. Because like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
warning. It's a give a warning. Yeah.
It is absolutely a warning. But now everything is about money. That's the thing. It's not all about money, and we're in the middle of that little triangle we spoke about before, and it's kite formation.
Hmm.
And um, something extraordinary happened last week. I was invited to join a Thanksgiving thing last Thursday,
Yes.
and Darby Costello was speaking. Well, it wasn't a platform; it was a chat thing. But
Uh-huh.
Darby was talking about the Saturn Neptune, and she was so eloquent. She was so on it, right? She grounded it really nicely, and that was
Mm.
picked up again then by some of our American colleagues. And I just thought, my God, this group of astrologers who've been around for 40 or 50 years, and they've been through an entire Saturn Neptune before, right? They
Mm.
were seeing the sort of they were not all gloom and doom, right? They were
Hmm.
seeing the potential for a different kind of construction, co-creating something better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nobody should think it's all dire. I mean, we've got to have one foot on the ground, but there were some very creative ideas as well. And
Hmm.
your event this weekend, we can't ignore that. Ignore that. Um, are you very excited?
I'm very, very excited and very busy. And this afternoon, our dear friend Tanya Daniel will kick off with the pre-conference workshop. She's going to talk about declination and the longitude, latitude. You know that how crazy she is for her book. She can never finish it. It's not because she couldn't write it. It's just because she has so much knowledge. She keep wanting to add more, add more, add more, add more.
Well,
You
listen,
really have to tell her, stop, publish it.
well, you're absolutely right. And as I said, I was privileged to do some of the early stuff with her. I think
Yeah,
I think she could break it into two bits. She can have the declination bit, then she can go on to the latitude stuff. But definitely,
definitely.
God, let's get this thing out because she wrote so well, and the presentation is just stunning, absolutely
Yeah.
stunning. So
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that you've got her, but you've also got my other pal, Sue, is speaking.
Sue was speaking tonight. We're opening conference
Yeah,
tonight, and she's going to talk about anything you want to know about progression. because at this conference we dedicate to the beginner and who want to learn the forecasting or prediction technique for the from Friday and to Saturday, and then the second half on the Sunday we are going to go mundane because as we talk about, we have so many outer planet change, and it's like what's going to happen. So all our experts like you, Ling Bell, Wendy, will join us. Hakan will
Well,
join us.
can I tell you, I am really struggling with my talk at the moment because, like, can I
I
put
don't
all of
believe
this
you.
stuff into an hour? Can I do this? Right. And can I
Uh,
make it so that people aren't bored to death with my voice?
you
So,
you know what? That's why I put you around midday, so you can talk as long as you want. We will all go for lunch, and you can continue talking. There's only two of my friends has this privilege. One
oh,
is you, and one is Marcus.
oh, great. Well, look, I am looking forward to it, and I've got quite a lot of charts, so it will be a chart-rich thing. Um,
Yeah,
so, and I am going to talk about the outlook for Europe generally, and
yeah.
inevitably, I was realizing this morning, inevitably, you have to focus on the difficult aspects that are coming, and we can't gloss over that. This is,
Sure.
that's where that's at. But I don't see any reason why we can't finish on a bit of an up, right? Of
Yeah.
where the opportunities are, because the advantage of knowing our stuff, right, is that we can actually see the glimmer between, in the clouds, and not all clouds are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like Iran needs rain, right? Like
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So not everything is always dire, and I do think there's an advantage of knowing when the peaks and troughs are coming.
Definitely, definitely. Wow, it is so interesting. But before we finish, there is a most important thing, to be honest, for you and I. We both a little bit crazy about the book that we want to talk about it because early this Monday, I thought you were there and I was jumping to help just accidentally because the AA online library.
Well,
Uh, us, yeah,
honestly, Philip Graves is such what a gift he is to the community. Really,
definitely.
how outstanding. Words fail me. It's really absolutely incredible. So
Yeah.
the AA is following on from the stuff that the iBase began in 2013.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
we came a bit of a cropper because we had a very good library which was over on the in Washington State,
Yeah.
physical library. But there the
Mm-hmm.
problem was that you couldn't get books in and out. So we converted and became a catalog, and
Yeah.
we have cataloged all the AA library. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have all of that. So I can't remember, and size doesn't matter in this, but we now have, we had to take out the duplicates and things, I think we have
Yeah.
12,000 books catalogued. We also
Whoa.
have, we've got all the Marion March papers. We've got PDFs that you've got immediately access to. And with the iBase, there is no subscription. All of that's there. It's free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Um, there's always more to do, but we actually hire professional librarians. So what
Mm-hmm.
I noticed with the AA library the other day, and where
Mm-hmm.
there's a slight difference between the two, is that
Yeah.
the iBase doesn't just look at the title of a book or the author,
True. Yes.
actually also looking at what's inside as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are looking, I always use the same example, but supposing you were looking for Arcturus with
Yeah.
star with the AA library, I think unless it's in the right at the beginning,
Book title.
right, you're not going to pick it up. But with the
Yeah.
iBase, it's going to come up and say, yes, there's a chapter on that, or it's in this mountain astrology, because we've got all of those back there.
Yeah.
What I loved about what Philip had done, which was just outstanding, as I said, off the scale outstanding, were
Mm-hmm.
those very, very early, the Safari or the Raphael, all of that
Yes.
quality work there, which of course is very British centered, but
Yeah.
the Americans have got their thing over there. The two things together, seeing them flower together is a very lovely, lovely thing. And
Definitely.
I was sorry that earlier this year, Anna Z, who was our big librarian, our chief,
Yeah.
she was supposed to come over and spend some days with Philip.
Phillips, yeah.
And that couldn't happen because
Oh,
travel was a problem, right? But I hope that we can get that connection going again.
definitely,
Because
definitely.
it's such a it was such a delight to see everybody and to see that enthusiasm.
We definitely should working together. So, if you don't know what we're talking about, it is this Monday, early this Monday, Astrological Association's online library just officially launched, and our dear librarian Philip Grave just like present how many books we have scanned and how to join that. If you are the member of an Astrological Association, you get the subscription fee for £25, but if you are not, you get a full price for £50. And some people ask, why do you need money? We just say, we was really sorry. Astrological Association is a charity, and we are really working really hard. We not only support library and the journal and the conference, and all together, everything need money. So we are kind of, trying to handling everything. But yes, Christine mentioned about the Alexandra iBase. This is a highly recommend for every astrologer, no matter you are a student or research or you're a teacher. You want to study a particular things like
Yeah.
you mentioned about Arcturus, or
Um,
if I want to search about comet, I went there, just type a keyword, that any chapter related to comet, any
yes.
magazine, what comes up
And the
is a really
books.
good
Yeah.
tool. Any
It,
book,
it
yeah.
yeah, it's terrific because yeah, there we go.
And there is no subscription fee, it's free.
It's
So
free.
please
Yes, for the
use
moment it's
it.
free. Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fun. We've been very, very lucky because we've had donations and things, but the
Yeah,
librarians cost money, and we are using
definitely.
professional librarians. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these are people with full library qualifications. Right?
definitely. Yeah,
That means, we're talking to experts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so thank you for your time, dear
Mm.
Christine. I mean, it's so interesting.
Well,
Every time we talk about book, traveling,
I
and
know,
that's
I know.
now we know
Well,
because you have you have a Sachi moon, so that's why
yeah. So I will see you again on Sunday, and I wish
Oh,
you really well for tonight.
sorry. Before we finish, I forget asking most important things. Any upcoming event?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Well, I have two. Um,
Yeah.
on December the 28th, I'll do my proper forecast for 2026.
Hmm.
That's the monthly thing.
Yeah.
And people can find out about that from juliecityscopes@gmail.com. That's that.
Sure. Yes, I will put the email.
Yeah. But we also, the 6 module financial course, which,
Oh my God.
right, this is, and this was built for people, this is built for traders with little knowledge of astrology and astrologers
Hmm.
who don't know much about trading. So
Perfect.
it's very much a hybrid thing, but it is, it's expensive. It's $1,200, although you can buy it in 3 lumps. But I'm really pleased with it. The feedback from it has been really good. Our Canadian student has actually
Hmm.
has written to say that he's earned the money back already with his trading.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's really, really exciting. He's found one particular technique that he's just run with fantastically well. So yeah, so that's been quite a development. That's my big thing for this year. That was 2025. Next year we got to build on it and improve it, because with the thing with finance is it's always changing. Because
Definitely. Yes.
you can always find another better example of something. So anyway, that's
Definitely.
going on. So,
Cool.
right.
Thank you so much.
So you have to let me go, otherwise you're not going to have a talk for Sunday.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I should let you go because I also need to prepare for 2 p.m. Well, for dear friend, if you can join, send me email, but I can only reply you on Monday because we are extremely busy now. And if you haven't booked yet, I'm really sorry. Waiting until Monday, I will reply your email. Okay, but
Okay.
I'm really looking forward for anyone who register. I'm looking forward to see you this afternoon, this evening, or even tomorrow. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.